Okay, so this is Bear Hill Shire molding and casting, Armachd and Cruthaich disciplines, part 4. And what we did was we took the plaster of Paris out of the cups, we tapped them out till they came out, and then I just cleaned them up. So I cut a lot of the excess slop over the top off of the wax. One of the things that we really want to make sure of is that we've got a clean space to pour the pewter into, or whatever metal we're going to pour into. And you want to have at least a gap of that much. Anything less than that, and you're probably looking at repouring this. And then if that was the case, I would just cut all the plaster Paris off and leave the wax. Because we don't have any more rubber molds and we use them on the wax, that's fine. Again, this is a first attempt. We're going to try to go through it this way. The next step is to let these dry completely, because there's still a lot of water in them. They're still pretty flaky, so if I just scratch it with my nail, I can make an indent on it. What we're going to do next is we're going to tip them over, and we're going to put them on like a soup can or something in the oven in a drip pan, kind of like that. And once we put it in the oven, then the wax will just melt out of the bottom of the molds here. These are what you would call dies that we're pouring metal into to make shapes. So when people say they broke the mold or they broke the die, I guess they take it back. The die would be the stamping part. So this would be the die, this would be the mold. Die cast molding is what they call it. So what's going to happen after we pour the wax out, then we'll pour the metal in, and then it'll take up this shape right here. The optimal way to do this would be where the shape was in the direct middle of the cup, and the pour was pretty straight. As you can see, this is kind of all over the place. Not really the best. It sometimes happens though. I know I've poured plenty of plaster Paris around stuff, and it's kind of hard to get it to go where you want it to go. That's where that consistency and mixing it up really well really helps. This is not by any means the top of the line casting, dyeing, molding, pouring techniques that you can use. There's all different ways you can do this kind of stuff. There's things that I want to get into later on, like 3D casting. I can probably give you some links for some really awesome videos there that show how to make 3D shapes, how to cast them in metal in 3D shapes, but that uses things like risers and leaders and a lot of complex stuff, because we're just using flat shapes, and this is really the end goal, to make this in the metal. You know, I don't need to have a super complex shape there. All I need to do is flip this over, pour into that space, and then have this fill up with metal. The best way to do that is this right here, which is called lost wax, because when we melt these, the wax is going to go away. Again, not the easiest things in the world to do. There's a lot of steps here. This is already 4 parts, and I'm not showing you a lot of the stuff I am doing. But we'll see how it goes. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to wait for this to dry, probably at least 4 or 5 hours, and then we'll put it in the oven and try to get the wax out. Once the wax is out, then we do free to do a pour, and that will be happening about tomorrow sometime. So we'll go over that video at that time, and we're going to end the video here. So thanks for watching.